Well, I mean, it's already happening perhaps at WeWork. What you're seeing is a retrenchment there. They're having to pull back. And Softbank may have to put in even more money, but I don't know if they're going to put in anywhere near as much money as the company was hoping to, raise in the IPO and through its debt financing. And that's going to have immediate impacts on the commercial real estate here in New York. WeWork is the biggest tenant in the city, private tenant in the city. It's also very big in London. So almost immediately, you're going to see that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, there's going to be fallout as they pare back. When it comes to their success overall, people still talk so much about Alibaba. As you point out, he built a $20 million position into a $120 billion stake right now. But you look at the track record with a lot of the companies lately, and it's hard it seemed to me it was hard for you guys to come up with some other real successes. I mean, you talk about Flipkart, but that's not really moving the needle.
Right, that's not moving the needle, but as well as I do, Kelly, that you can have somebody who makes an amazing trade once that makes them, a billionaire many times over, and then everybody expects the next thing to be as good, and we saw that after the financial crisis and during the financial, and so this, in a sense, is a little bit like that. What's different here, though, is Mr. Son has an even bigger dream. He's trying to change the world with his investing, and that sets him apart from somebody else who did a good trade once and then everybody's hanging on there every other trade.
Right, and Deirdre, it also gives him a very long leash with which to prove that the strategy is right. I mean, he talks about having a 300-year vision for his plans for some of these companies.
Yeah. I mean, he talks about having a 300-year vision. He hasn't been around that long, but he's been around for a long time. And remember that Bosa made a lot of bad bets during the dot-com boom that did not work out. All he needed was Alibaba to give him this amazing track record and this amazing presence as an investor. That could happen again. He could choose one of these companies that you see here could be the next Alibaba. He is known for making investments on gut instinct. With Adam Newman at WeWork, it was a 28-minute car ride where they shook hands, and that's where that all started. So I think Bosa works a lot on instinct, and yes, he's had some losses, but the story is far from over. It does not look good, though, at a time when he's trying to raise another $100 billion for a second vision fund.
Right, and Peter, no company in their right mind is going to turn away money. I mean, if SoftBank wants to give it to them, especially if it postpones making difficult changes to corporate governance or, readying a company for an IPO, of course they're going to take it, right? I mean, I don't really blame the companies, but you have to wonder if WeWork's done more harm than good for the IPO culture right now.
Well, that's what's thrown. That's the big paradox hanging over this whole, over SoftBank and its investments is everybody you speak to who claims to be some sort of expert in entrepreneurship and startups, even people in Silicon Valley itself, are saying this is terrible for the ecosystem. It's just turning good ideas into these huge into ideas that can't work, and yet of course you're going to take the money, and so I don't know how this plays out because you're right. Everyone's going to take SoftBank's dollars if they can get it, but it could undermine their company in the process. People say because what it tends to do is spur these very rapid expansions before you've really worked out how to build a business.
Yeah, Deirdre, we got to go to last syllable to you.
I would just say I'm not sure that every company would take money from Bosa Son and SoftBank. I think there are some out there that are well capitalized and don't want to give up that much ownership and don't want SoftBank meddling around.